Oh, Brendan, that was quick. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to Short Chat with regards to the alien invasion. Could you just give me a yes if you can hear me loud and clear? Sometimes there's a delay in the... yeah, just let me know if you can hear me. Oh, brilliant. I got a yes. Hi, everybody. Welcome. People are jumping on board now. Thank you for coming. So we're not totally shadow banned, but let's not talk about that now. Let's talk about the alien invasion. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody, and this is a topic that we should talk about. I think it's important because it's going to be in the lamestream media now, and it's going to be hyped up. And the way I see it, if I draw a line there and put the word COV and I continue, and then I draw an image of people laid out on the floor in body bags. This is exactly the second version of the stage show, the Hollywood play, the complete and utter lie that they spun out in the first one called COV, and in China, in Wuhan, which in actual fact, if you do some deep dive, you'll see that that footage was a lie, and those bodies in that bag may have been, there's many different versions of that story, but I knew it was a lie as soon as it happened. It was a shock energy to shock people. And there are different people talk about it, saying that this actual footage that of everybody laid out dead in body bags was actually part of something else that had happened a few months or years before. I don't know. You can confirm that. You can look into it. But it was actually some kind of poison gas leak that had killed people, and they put the bodies outside. So they used footage, as they do for everything. So this is this let's say stage 2 of this agenda of sleight of hand and fear. Let's go deeper into it. Let's do a deep dive. What exactly is this new fake alien invasion? So right now, people from all over the place are getting scared and frightened. Exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah, that's the whole point. Get scared, get frightened, because it generates an energy that feeds the darkness and the people who are dark in this world. That's predominantly what it is. However, it's also a wonderful way for evil to manipulate and to cause great harm and to hide all the things that are showing themselves. So whenever a bully in the playground is just about to get caught, he tries to distract everybody by doing something over there and saying that a lie over there. It's a typical bully tactic. It's a psyop. So that's what this is. Question number 1, why is it that now, out of all the years that you've lived in this world, that they're all talking about it now? What is the difference between us being crazy to now everything is normalized and it's real? Why is that? Well, Occam's razor says when you look at all of the reasons why, the most simplest reason is normally the correct one. So I believe it's because it's their time. So this is what they want to do, and it's their moment. So it's no coincidence. It's being manufactured, it's being created, and now they're rolling it out. They drip fed it for the past 3 or 4 months, and now they're starting to weave their evil into the world. Now, if they can do 9/11 and kill 2,000 people, then they can surely take a fake aircraft. They can put fake aliens, 7-foot aliens in costumes, and scratch or rip people's neck. No problem. They kill 2,000 people. They don't care. So next thing is, from the scratching and this, it's more bombing and using MK Ultra weaponized systems that they say, oh, these are beams that don't belong to us. No, they do belong to us. Everything that is happening on this world belongs to us. So there is a lady that I posted, and just I know a lot of people, if I mention this word, a lot of people out there will then start to say that I believe, if I believe in somebody, that means I am this targeted opposition, you know, the brands and all of these. And one of those people is Stephen Greer. Now, I had my own belief system in the fact that when I've seen extraterrestrial, when I've been approached by one, when I had to heal one without even knowing till after, I have this understanding and this feeling what's good and bad. So the good and bad is normally the same feeling that I have when you come to me, and if you've got, say, cancer and there's a strong chance that you may be passing into the light, I get that feeling. I have that gut feeling. I know it inside. If you come to me and you think you've got cancer and I say I don't feel anything, I don't have this gut feeling, so you're okay. And that always served me 100%. It always served me well. And I get the same feeling when I see things online. When I see things and hear things, I get this gut feeling and think, yeah, bullshit. Or yeah, that's real. So I do believe wholeheartedly when I watched something called, it was Stephen Greer, and he brought a lot of people together to try and expose what's going on. So there were two things that I embraced from that, two things that resonated. The first thing was a woman who spent time with a man called Vernon von Braun. Now, most people know Vernon von Braun was part of the SS. He was, let's say, involved in trying to create rockets, and I believe he did create rockets, which I don't know whether V2s or V1s. I don't know, but he was known as the rocket man, the rocketeer, whatever. Doesn't really matter. He was a guy that tried to create rockets and did. And this woman, back in the 70s, spent time with it. Now, she was a teacher at the time. And the one thing that resonated when I watched this it was like a stage show in itself. They tried to, you know, all of them tried to say, you know, I'd swear to you know, Congress, what I'm telling is the truth. They get kind of like a show. I know what they were trying to do. And of course, it was never going to happen because it wasn't time for it to happen. They didn't want this to happen. Now is time for certain reasons. Because if you look at 9/11, all you need to do is look at why 9/11 happened. And it was because at the time, the government was being looked at because there was trillions and trillions of dollars that had gone missing. So what happened? They sent some kind of missile, or they said it was a plane, but into a specific building that blew up all the paperwork. And but if that had happened to you, if you had a tax bill and your car set on fire, do you know what they'd do? They'd say, tough luck, mate, we're going to assess you, and we're going to assess you at double the price. Now you prove it. So these scum of the world, these scum who run this world, they are nothing but scum. They are the dirty, immoral, murdering butchers of the world. Don't ever tell me any different. So when you know you're dealing with this kind of parasitical energy and demonic energy, you know that they're capable of doing anything. They don't care about humanity. They'll kill 2,000 people in a building. They won't give a shit about any of them. In fact, they'll be sat there having a cup of tea, watching it happen. They'll sit together with their friends, watching it happen. This is how much evil we're talking about runs this world. So going back to this lady called Dr. Carol, I can't remember her name. I've got it. If you click onto my, let me just have a look. Find it. Okay, maybe you should listen to it. I've got it. Hang on. Listen.
Good morning. My name is Carol Rosen. In 1974, I was introduced to the late Dr. Wernher von Braun in the U.S., the father of rocketry. In my first meeting with him, during that first 3.5 hours, he said to me, Carol, you will stop the weaponization of space. He said, no, you have to understand, this is February, and we have to prevent the weaponization of space because there is a lie being told to everyone that the weaponization of space is now first being based upon the evil empire, the Russians. There are many enemies, he said, against whom we're going to build this space-based weapon system, the first of whom was the Russians, which was existing at that time. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be third world countries. Now we call them rogue nations or nations of concern. Then there would be asteroids. And then he would repeat to me over and over, and the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat. Well, at the time, I kind of laughed when he said,
okay, so that was the most profound part of that particular group of people who came together. There were many talking. I think they called it undisclosed, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But when she spoke, you know that feeling you get when you know somebody's speaking the truth? That's what I got. And I completely and utterly believe it. And a lot of the times when these mad people, these crazy people come to the end of their life, they want to try and absolve their sins. And a lot of these people will spurt out the truth. So I believe that she was with him when he was speaking the truth. The last threat is the alien invasion, which is no alien invasion. It's all orchestrated by government, every single bit of it. Everything that is happening right now, where it comes to the fake climate change, the boiling, the fires. Yes, there are fires. There's always fires, but most of the fires are done by either, in my humble opinion, started deliberate, or weaponization systems of these MK Ultra, DARPA, HARP, all of the military industrial complex. They are all in it together because they are all pure poison evil. That's what's running the world. So the question is, why now? You've got to ask that question. Why now? Why are they starting this threat? There's got to be certain things that they need to do. And if you remember me talking to you about the pot of gold, I used to interview, in the sense, heal, cleanse, do readings, many people. And afterwards, we used to go for a coffee. So I used to kind of interview these politicians, these people from America, and talk to people about this particular situation. And I used to talk to them about why they got into government and what is it about what makes them want to be in government, because I could clearly see they didn't want to do it for the health and well-being of the people. And there was always mention of this pot of gold. The pot of gold is basically all the ants running back and forth to the queen and giving her all the food and building that food up, and the queen taking that food all the time. So what we are to them are the ants, and we feed that bowl of gold. So we feed it and feed it and feed it, and then they need to take that away. So they need to find ways of taking the gold from the pot. They can't just take the gold, because there are certain people that do actually really care, and they're going to look at the numbers, because they're from the outside, they're looking in. So like, you watch me and then you'll go and study me and you'll go and find out, is he a fraud? Is he a crook? What is he? You'll go and do that. So that they know this. They know that people are pretty smart, or few of them, and they're watching all the time. So they have to do these things in a way that is going to be deemed responsible. It's going to be deemed that sense. And how do they do that? War is one of them. Every time there's a war, that pot of gold goes down by half, nearly every time. But it's okay, it keeps getting filled by us. So now they've just got their money. They've now taken that wealth and they've bought themselves 2 or 3 islands, or they're now starting something even bigger. The military industrial complex will take their cut and pass it around all of these so-called black ops. And that's how it works. So if we can start something that's going to scare the crap out of people, then they can take that pot of gold, because everybody says, help, problem, reaction, solution. Give me something in my arm so I'm going to be better. Tell me I'm going to not die. And then the pot of gold goes down again by half. But don't worry, because we keep putting into it all the time. It's a never-ending pot of gold for these parasites to steal. So it goes to say that every time that they create something that the 10% see it's bullshit. They know they can't continue that. So then they're going to have to produce something even greater, even bigger. So it makes sense that what this Dr. Carol Roslin said is the final part, but I don't believe it is. I don't believe the final part is the alien invasion, because from there it's gonna go on to other things even greater and bigger. But let's just say that this is their final part to let's say this next stage show. So how do they do it? Well, I'm in line with Dr. Greer on one thing, that I do not believe aliens are a threat to humanity. I believe it's humanity that is a threat to humanity. And I believe that these dark ops, I believe that these people who are working in these dark ops have already created all that they need to do. They created the alien ships, they've created body suits, and they steal people all the time. And they take parts from them, body parts. They do bad things to them. I believe none of them are, in my humble opinion, that's just my opinion. You can believe what you want. And maybe there are certain instances that things do happen. I don't know. But I don't believe, even if the aliens are of threat in the sense of that they have a different energy, whether it's a spacesuit that they're wearing, whether inside them there is an energy that doesn't combine with ours, therefore we are going to get sick or ill. So it's a bit like us going into the jungle, and like there's a lost tribe, we go in there and we kill them all with our shite that we have and that's inside us, bacterias or whatever it is. We cause great mayhem, just leave them alone. And I believe that they're the same to us. They leave us alone because it just wouldn't work. I do believe also that there are definitely many different types of extraterrestrial, and I believe I came in contact with one which is closer to our DNA, and they're called the Nordic Blues. So what I believe is that when I was healing and giving a psychic reading to this one man, I believed he was not of this world, or he wasn't of this DNA that we are. He was different. He looked like us, but he was different. And the way I talk about it in my book is that I tried to feel his family. I tried to feel his illness. I tried to feel his energy. I tried to feel his emotion, and couldn't connect, couldn't feel anything. First time ever. I was stunned, because normally I feel something when I place my hands over them, people. And the only thing he said was, "Oh, that's interesting." And the color of his eyes changed from blue to gray to blue. He lied down. I gave him a healing session. After the healing session, I couldn't find anything. I was scanning his body, trying to find illness, all sorts of stuff. Couldn't find anything. When he got up and left, it took me a few days and sometimes maybe a week out that everything that was happening was actually happening the other way around. Normally, I scan you and he was scanning me. When I was giving energy to him, he was taking energy from me. So I realized that moment was kind of profound. And I believed at that moment, we're not alone. And I think they walk among us. But when it comes to the other extraterrestrials, I think it makes perfect sense that if there is extraterrestrial, they're going to manipulate it so that we believe that they're evil. If a bully wants to cause great harm and it wants to steal this pot of gold, again, Occam's razor said it makes perfect sense to say that these extraterrestrials, whatever you want to call them, are evil, and they're going to kill us, and they're going to cause us harm. How do you do that? Well, you replicate everything, and then you start causing harm, just like blowing up a building, causing harm. So now you've got an invisible terrorist that's always going to kill you. And funnily enough, they've disappeared, right? So everything's a show. So now it's the aliens. So now the terrorists have disappeared. Funnily enough, the virus has disappeared. So it's amazing how it just comes and goes when they say Isn't it funny how they say, just get ready because in 6 months we're going to have a virus? And sure enough, in 6 months it came. And funny enough, there's a possibility that there's going to be aliens, and now it comes out in Congress, and now it's coming out. Isn't that funny? Isn't that so? No such thing as coincidence. Just remember that. So when you realize that the last look, we need to keep taking money out of this pot of gold, but we've done the spear arm, and that worked fine, thank you. And we also culled a lot of people. That works really well. So let's try this now. What we tell them is that yes, as a matter of fact, there are aliens. Oh, okay. So for 50 years there's been no aliens, but now there is. Why is that? I wonder why that is. Yes, because they want it to. They want it to come out now. So why do you want it to come out now? Well, we need to take the money out of this pot of gold again. So what we need to do now is tell you that this is a threat, and you're going to see them in the skies, and they're going to come down everywhere, and you're going to see them all over the place, whether they're beams of light showing, like the if you go online, you can see that there's stage shows which are 3D stage shows everywhere. Oh, they're all over now. I think there's some that are shown in Saudi Arabia, whereas they're coming out of the water and they look like I don't know, huge giant whales, and you've got your helicopters flying over projecting. Again, it's all to do with what this is. It's exactly the same thing. However, you've still got the stage show of replicas. So you've got your replica spaceman who grabs a child or takes 50 away, and you never see him again. Not much difference from an aeroplane that you set off and then you land somewhere and you take them all out and say, oh, they blew this up. It's all very similar. So when you realize that and you think about it, yeah, this makes sense. So this is what they're doing. Why are they doing it? Because this pot of gold now, what we can do is say that, right, we need to take over the space. We need to take over space. We need to get all of everything ready just in case they come down. Okay, we need the pot of gold again. So now they've got the pot of gold again. It's all about stealing the pot of gold. It's got nothing to do with aliens. It's got nothing to do with a virus. It's got nothing to do with terrorists. It's all to do with this sick, evil, global entity that is so much like James Bond and the Spectre. They're all sat round a table figuring out how to cause the greatest of harm and steal the greatest of wealth from the world. That's what it's about. And also, amongst that energy of these people around the table, it's all Luciferian, it's dark, it's evil, and whoever's controlling them in a spiritual sense is making them create this suffering in the world so that the entity, the darkness, evil, is going to basically suck up that energy from all of us because we are living energies. That is my conclusion, and that is what I believe. And I will never, ever change my mind. Never. Is there aliens? Of course there is. I'm not saying there isn't. Are there bad aliens? I'm sure there are. Predominantly, are the aliens going to come and attack us? Well, why haven't they attacked us? Why haven't they come down and taken over this world in the past 50 years that I've been alive? Why now? It makes absolute no sense unless you know the outcome of what's happening. And my belief system is the outcome, the outcome of all of this, the agenda of all of this is to steal as much money as they can, cause as much chaos and mayhem, and take over the skies, take over the world, take over everything. Because I believe that the joint of all, if you listen to Klaus Schwab, he says that we've infiltrated most of the government. I don't believe he's infiltrated most of the government. I don't believe he is even the most powerful man in the world. I think he's one of those around the table on Spectre. And I believe there's many more powerful than him in dark ops, in the military industrial complex, in the greatest of places around the world. And they all have the same energy. And that energy is that you and I are flies on a windscreen, and they don't give a shit about you and I. They could kill you in a second, and they would have more pleasure watching the world burn and be destroyed, because that is their character. They don't create, they destroy. And like I said, it's very much like all of these sick individuals that are not like you and I. They're nothing like you and I. That's why you can't ever put yourself close to them. You can't ever believe that you are nothing like them. Your energy, your consciousness, you are the opposite of these. These are pure evil, right? So you know this. That's why they'll sit 4 blocks away and watch the Twin Towers fall down, because that'll be a picnic to them. That'll be like you and I going to ballet and watching the sunrise or the sunset. You've got to understand that they are not like you and I. And what all of these are in these special high places that have taken over all the world. And that's why all bad continues to keep being bad. They continue doing what they're doing without no stopping. They continue doing it because they've infiltrated everything on this globe. Everything. Now you're going to say to me, well, I feel bad now. What do I do? This is awful. I don't know. I don't have the answer to what to do. But do I not say anything as somebody that I feel deep down that everything that I'm saying is of the truth? Do I believe wholeheartedly that this teacher spoke the truth of Vernon von Braun? Yes, I do. Do I believe that Stephen Greer believes that most of the abductions and most of the bad things that happen to people are actually done by black ops? I do believe that wholeheartedly. Do I believe that things in this world have happened that could have been a little bit bad by certain? Yeah, there's a possibility. I'm not denying that. There's a possibility. Do I believe that they keep away? I do believe that they keep away. They see us as ants, just like we see ants. We leave them alone and let them get on with it. So my feeling is that they feel that they're far advanced than us, which they are. And I also believe that, you know, what's the point in playing with ants? There's no point. Just let the ants be. That's who we are to them, because their technology is far more advanced than ours. So that's what I believe. So that's where I am with this. So it's bullshit. What's going on is bullshit, but it's not bullshit. It's actually terrifying. What's going on and what's about to happen and what will continue to happen is that people are going to be terrified all the time. And this new idea, that slow drip, Japanese torture, drip, drip, drip. They're here to kill us. Drip, drip, drip. We need to get more ammunition. We need to deploy all this and all the time. It's our own governments and evil, pure evil consciousness that sits in these bodysuits that pretend to be human. They're not human. They are void of love. They are void of compassion. They are void of anything that we are. They are the opposite. That is my truth tonight. Sure, just think about it. Think about it. It's all too coincidence. There's just too much coincidence why it's happening now. And we were being prepared for it because it was being talked about. You know, I find it funny how somebody can talk about something and then it happens and then people go, oh, wow, yes, they've talked about that. Yeah, instead of it happening and everybody going, oh my God. Yeah, maybe they're preparing us as well, because they don't want fully everybody to be in shock. They want some people, oh yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah, I knew this was coming. I knew this was going to happen. So they don't want complete, you know, it is one big psyop. So that's my truth. I don't want to say any more about it. It's not that important. But what I do say is, you know, God help us now for what they're going to do to people around the world. And yeah, I don't know. I don't even know even to say if everybody said this is bullshit, they would stop. I think they would still carry on because they've got an agenda and that's it. And that pot of gold needs to be filtered all the time. I don't think it's all about the gold. I think it's basically they are controlled by let's say we are in a battle between light and dark. This is a spiritual battle. And, you know, how easy it is to infiltrate something, how easy it is to stop something beautiful from happening. I mean, I want to give a talk in the morning, how easy it is to use people to interfere and to stop things happening. When you realize these things, then the little things that we go through, imagine if it's a greater power. Imagine if they're in greater positions, how they can influence them. You know, and look, just take a look. Look at Redacted. Look at watch all the people in the highest places. Tucker Cat, watch them all bring this in, not even knowing that they're bringing it in. They're bringing it in. They're playing without knowing, playing into the hands of what they want. Right, all of it. It's all deliberate. They need to get it out there, so they're going to use the big boys to do it. So you'll see Brandon, all of them, everybody will be playing into it. It's all bullshit. 100% bullshit. It's all manipulated. It's all done by this group of spectre, subhuman being. Call them Luciferians, call them evil, call them what you want, but they are not there for our good. They are not there for our joy, happiness, love. They're there to cause as much damage as they can to this world. And that's my take on it. There you go. That's it. I don't know what else to say. Elon Musk is part of it. Of course he is. And if you don't think he is, then I'm sorry, you've bought into the game. You're programmed. All the ones in those positions are in it one way or another. And they'll do things to counteract you, to make you believe, oh, listen, if you've been jabbed and you're sick and you pull it, I'll pay for your solicitor's fees. Yeah. You know what? The biggest trick in the book is for evil to be nice. Here's the apple. No, mate. Sorry. Not interested. Not interested. Yeah. This is an evil. This is all evil. But then you send thousands and thousands of satellites up there. How did you do that, mate? How did you manage to send all them satellites? Let's have a look into you. Let's see who you really are. Most people don't care because they're lazy. They don't want to look into him. And I'm going to talk about him. I'm just saying, I don't believe in anybody who claims to want to do good in this world. And at the same time, they're in those positions, those powerful positions. Just don't believe it. I just do not believe it at all. Not one bit. You can say what you want to me. Oh, he's done this, he's done that. Well, if you've got trillions of dollars that has been given to you because you have been put on the pedestal to be that clever boy that we want to represent us, then it makes sense. It makes sense. Oh, he's a genius. Of course he's a genius. But so are many other people are geniuses as well. Anyway, this is just my take. You believe what you want, but I don't believe a word any of these people say. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. I'm just watching the show. George Carlin said the same thing. Sit down, get your popcorn and watch it and just laugh. That's what George Carlin says. And I guess he's right. I guess he's right. What else can we do? They've taken over everything. What else can we do? It's difficult. It's very difficult. And you're watching this. I'm just giving you a heads up. You believe it or not. I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm just telling you what I feel. And there's so much going out there of people saying, oh, they're here now. They're in Peru. Everybody's scared. Yeah, of course they're scared. Of course the whole of Peru is scared now because that is the energy that this darkness wants. That's what it feeds from. It's exactly what it does. It feeds for it every 24/7 on your screens. Why do you think that love is being suppressed and all the bad things are on social media? Look at it. Just take a look. The people beating each other up on the streets. This is the energy that they want. So when you watch this, you feel that fear and, oh my God, what's happening? Burning, destroying, abductions, people dying, needles, fear of the next, chicken flu or bird flu or whatever. It's constant. But then when you look around you and you walk down the beach and you have a lovely day and you come back again, you realize that it's all an illusion out there. It's all a lie. Everything is a lie out there. And when you come back in here, this is how it should be. So this isn't bullshit. This is real. Do I embrace this and start feeling bad all day? No, I don't. but at least I know what's happening. At least I know where I am. And when I make these videos, it's to shake you up a bit. It's like, yeah, I think you might be right there. This is a load of bullshit. Yeah, it is a load of bullshit. Complete, utter bullshit. And it's in a can, and it's condensed bullshit. And everything that you're told by your mainstream media, everything that's put out there and shown big and wide is bullshit. And always turn it the other way around. It's normally the other way around. Back to front, inside out, wrong way around. Love you all. Have a great night. In 2 hours, there should be a lovely chat on Sheep Farm, and it'll be just a general chat about life, and maybe you might want to come over, or you might have had enough of Mr. Bayersky talking, and I don't blame you, to be honest. All right, 230 people. That's the biggest viewing I've ever had on a live. I've had sort of some like 300, 400, 500s when I'm doing a healing session live, but I very much appreciate you being here. And, we all have our own thoughts. We all have our own opinions. Don't let me change your mind. Just do some soul searching and see how it feels inside, and ask yourself, why now? Why now? And follow the money. All right, guys. What is Sheep Farm? Sheep Farm is on YouTube. And if you click YouTube Sheep Farm and type in Dominic and Christian, you'll see a live event coming up in 2 hours from now. So you can join myself and Dominic, because Christian is on holiday somewhere in Spain. So it's basically a general chat for 1 hour about what's going on in the world. So I don't know. It's there if you want to see it. But Sheep Farm, you just have to. Yeah, I don't know. I'm the old school, so let me just type in Sheep Farm and see what happens. YouTube. Sheep. There you go. Sheep Farm. And there. Just press that. Okay, so it's Sheep Farm Studios. And you can see just below where it says videos. And there's my ugly mug. Every time my ugly mug goes online and people see publicly, the sales of dartboards go down. I'm wishing you all a lovely, lovely evening. Take care, guys. I'm sorry if I've upset you. I seem to be saying sorry a lot these days, but I really don't. Yeah. I guess what's happening here is my audience is changing from fluffy audience to people who want to just feel good all the time without, seeing truth or looking and seeing, growing. Because if you say to me, I'm just in this fluffy place of love and light, there's only so much you can grow from, because the whole point of being here is experience and observing. And I'm not saying that what I'm saying is right or positive, but I am saying it's part of our experience. It's part of everyday life. And if you turn away from that, then is that a positive? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should just not even contemplate what anything is happening on the mainstream media. Nothing. Right? And then just go all day long. And if I do that, maybe the world will change and evil will disappear, and Bill Gates will start hugging people and giving farms away and asking them to grow. Yeah, right. Whatever, mate. See you later. Take care. I think I'll stick to doing what I'm doing. See? Love you all, guys. Love you all. Okay, I'm going to prepare for tonight and see you there. I'll be in the chat box. And let's have a chat. Love you all. I want to do something out of love. Oh no, I'll sound like no, I won't, because I'll sound like Elon Musk. Have a great evening, guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Have a great evening. Take care.